Hey, peace, blessings, love to everybody. Um, oh, so after like the probably fourth person this week asked me a question about the colon cleansing, gut health, and stuff like that. I figured I better do a video and share about some stuff that I have and some stuff that I know to do. Today's a good day for me to make this video because I am sitting on my own gut cleanse. So I'm changing around my own gut routine that I'm, oops, there we go. Oh, hey, peace. So I'm changing the way that I do the colon cleanse, and I've decided to start back doing, like my monthly. So what I used to do once upon a time was to every moon cycle. So on the new moon and the full moon, I would go into doing a cleanse, and it kind of like it works really well when you do it with the moon cycles too. For some reason, gut health, not for some reason, for many reasons, probably too many to list. Gut health goes with the moon emotions, when they say when the moon is full and emotions are high, and emotions are basically like kind of start in the gut, and so, or the physical aspect of emotions, I should say. So it matters that we keep everything clean there, that we actually have access to our emotions. When we eat a lot of trash food and we just fill up everything and have all this just waste matter, toxins, and everything stuck on there, it's really, really hard for the layer that's underneath, like in between the gut walls, for it to produce the serotonin that it needs, for it to produce the different stuff. Hey, peace, brother. For it to produce the different stuff that it needs in order to relay those signals to the heart. Some of the gut signals go to the heart, some of the gut signals go to the lungs, and some of the gut signals go to the brain. And so all of these messages, when everything is all dirty and clogged up in there, those messages get delayed or don't go at all. And it changes the way it changes our mood, it changes our whole emotional state, the actual emotional reactions that we have, because we're not able to process emotions properly. So it's a big deal to keep it clean. So what I used to do, like I said, was do a twice a month, was do a colon cleanse, and it's really easy. You can get a home colonic kit for like $20. Super useful. It's like a 2-liter bag. It's got a hose, with a pipe and stuff like that. And with that, you can actually you can get pretty much as clean as you probably need to, as long as you're eating, fairly decently, and keeping yourself hydrated. If you've never had a colonic, it's probably a good idea to go get one, at least just one, just to have like a professional, cleanse. It's kind of like getting your car detailed. It's a good idea to just get somebody in there, get it all cleaned up, all looking, brand new again, and then you can do the maintenance in between. Peace, blessings. And so for, let me see, where did I want to start with, with the gut thing that I'm doing now. So because I was really, really off the rhythm of doing home colonics for a long time, I started back, and I'm doing it, instead of doing on full moon and new moon, I'm doing it on every quarter moon. So full, new, half, quarter rising, and quarter waning. And so each week I do a different one. So this week was my lemon cleanse, and I take 2 liters of water. So I just did 1 lemon in it because I haven't done it in a while. And I used to be able to put 2 lemons in, and it probably doesn't seem like much, 2 lemons in a 2-liter thing of water. But if you think about like squeezing, the sensation of squeezing lemon juice in your eye and how that would burn, the intestines are really, really sensitive, just like the eyes. And putting lemon water up there is actually really, I wouldn't say, not necessarily an irritant. If you have issues with your gut, leaky gut, or issues like that, it may irritate the gut. So I would say to be careful with that one in particular, with lemon. Or to just use less, because lemon's actually, it kills off parasites. It's fantastic. It actually is very healing for the gut once you start to kind of like get all your gut flora back in balance. And lemon water will help your gut to kind of like grow the bacteria in it, the healthy bacteria that are specific to your body, to your lineage, to your culture, or not culture, but to your, your ancestry, your culture's way of eating, your diet. A lot of times we use supplements, probiotic supplements, and nobody really thinks about, like, or people just kind of assume that probiotics are like everybody on the whole earth has the same gut bacteria, and so we all, when one size fits all and we can all take the same thing. And that's actually not true. Every culture, just because of the foods they eat, the environment where the foods grow, that they're from, the bacteria that's in the soil, in those environments, everybody in different cultures all over the world have completely different gut flora. And so when we go to, Whole Foods or whatever and buy a bottle of probiotics and just jam them in there like they're going to do the whole job, that's actually not the whole picture. So replacing gut bacteria definitely is the kind of thing that could do better with a little bit of research. And it's useful. Taking a probiotic is still helpful. It can replace the like basic gut bacteria that everybody has. There's some certain baseline ones that pretty much everybody all across the board has, and then they just vary in the numbers and the amounts or the ratio or whatever. And so taking the gut bacteria and then doing a lemon cleanse. A lemon cleanse will kind of like work in synchrony, in harmony with the body, and kind of like release out whatever shouldn't be there, and then still work in harmony with your body, and it won't like destroy everything that's in there. It'll destroy the parasites, the negative stuff that doesn't belong, but it actually kind of works in harmony with your gut bacteria. So it's an especially good one if you want to just like kill the bad stuff and keep the good stuff in there. But a lemon cleanse does kind of hurt. So, not hurt, no, let me not use that word. I don't want to scare off anybody who's doing it. I'm being a little dramatic, but it feels just like if you accidentally got some lemon water in your eye, and it's kind of like, oh, you gotta, like blink it a little and get it back to normal. I did the cleanse about 3 hours ago now, and I still feel very like bottle brushed, I feel very cleaned out inside. I definitely do not feel like eating. But I think when you do a gut cleanse, it's probably a good idea just to take that day, just to, mentally prepare yourself to just not eat any food that day. And if you are going to eat anything or ingest anything, it's a good idea. Hey, peace, blessings. Thank you all for joining. If you are going to ingest anything, then try to go for, so just some like green juices that have been watered down. And if anything at all, maybe salads, just like a raw salad or like even a raw soup. Good to have one, raw food soup like gazpacho or something like that, like a recipe on standby, so that, for the days when you do your cleanse, you can just kind of eat really light, really gentle. Or if you want something warm, like a light broth, like a miso soup or something like that, something that's really gentle and light. And so that's really useful and helpful. And then another enema, so I do, or colonic, I do 4, and last week was the coffee. So next week I'm doing coffee again, but the next week I'm going to do a coffee one. Last time I did a very light coffee one, because the light coffee one kind of, it kills parasites, cleans out, kind of helps balances the gut. It also tones the intestinal walls. A lot of people don't realize that, the intestine is a muscle. It's a kind of muscle, and it's a different muscle fiber. It's like these tubular fibers, and it kind of, it's designed to squeeze down the whole entire way. And again, if they are not getting, if the bits down here and the bits up here are too clogged, they're not going to get signals to each other. So it's going to be kind of warped. It's not going to be a smooth movement that just kind of like starts here. This one sends the signal to this one. Here you go, your turn, pass it on, and slide down. This one might react, and then this one up here, and that's how we get in cramps and things, intestinal cramps. And sometimes we'll go and throw some kind of garbage on top of it, or think that we need to take some sort of herb for the for the muscle, for the abdomen cramps, and that's not what's actually wrong. What's wrong is that it's too clogged in there, and the muscles are not sending off signal. They're not firing off signals in order. So it's pushing the food up and then back and moving it around, and it's not getting out properly the way it's supposed to. So yeah, like I said, best thing you can possibly do is just go get it cleaned out one good time, at least one good time. Even do like a yearly thing where it's just like once a year. That's your birthday suit. Give the birthday suit a wash on the inside. Get it ready for the whole year ahead. Those are gut health, definitely gut health, and spine health are huge factors in how young you're able to stay. It's a really big deal. Like people, and I'm not talking about how young, just as far as you're able to look. It's all great to look young, you know. Most people don't know, you know. Most people don't guess my age, you know, when they think about it, or when they you know, say something. But it's about the actual how you feel inside. It definitely will show up on your face. Like whatever you do to your gut will definitely show up on your face. So if your gut is like clogged up, if you have leaky gut, you're going to start getting dark circles under your eyes. And if you start getting dark, if it starts getting very dark above here also, that means it's so clogged that it's extremely likely that you could start coming down with some kind of permanent, or not permanent, nothing is permanent, but some very serious issues. So watch the face, you know, for different signs of issues that are going on in there. And looking at the eyes really do give away, you know, like a lot of the gut health. And when you're healthy, you don't have, you know, wrinkles and stuff like that. And when your body is hydrated inside, it won't, you know, it takes a long time for that stuff to start to show up. And so let me see. Okay, wait. I'm trying to remember all the stuff I wanted to cover. I had a whole head full of things I wanted to say about everything to do with gut health. But yes, the coffee one. Back to the coffee thing. So the light coffee helps to, you know, like I said, smooth out that, you know, intestinal thing, kind of clean it out at the same time as it starts to get the muscles back into where they're actually rippling in order, so that the food is passing smoothly down and everything. And then if you do a heavier coffee enema or a coffee colonic using like a good amount, it's probably, for the 2-liter bag like I have, you would probably put like 2 tablespoons of coffee. And for a light one, I would say go for no more than 2 teaspoons of coffee. And if it's your first time ever doing it, no matter how good it sounds, don't do more than 2 teaspoons. Just do that, see how your body feels, how it reacts, and then go back, you know, once you go back for another round, then go back for something heavier. So when you do the full-on coffee colonic, what it actually does is it goes up into it crosses that little bridge in between your intestines and your liver. It causes the bile duct to kind of like to squeeze and then slam out all of the extra like gunk and all the gunk and goo that it has filtered out, because the body filters out hey, peace. The body filters out the liver filters out fat, and then the bile duct actually has what bile is kind of like a detergent. So just like, you know, when you wash your dishes, if you have heavy grease on the dishes and you get, you know, detergent on there, scrub it up, and it cuts the grease, bile actually does that to our food inside. So because it's doing that, because the food has to pass through there in order to you know, get broken down, little bits and clogs of gooey, oily, fatty food material can get clogged and stuck in the bile ducts and in the ducts of the liver. So when you do a liver flush, what it does is actually kind of like make the whole thing clench, and it sort of like slams all of that excess goo and sticky stuff out into the intestines in order to flush it away. So strong liver, the strong coffee flush does 2 things. It actually goes up into the liver, and because it runs, if you hold it in your body for about 15 minutes, it cycles through, let me think, I used to know the number off the top of my head. I am going to look it out because I don't want to say the wrong number. But it runs through, because it, you know, the blood, every time if you're holding it for 15 minutes, or even if you hold it for say 5 minutes or 10 minutes, however many heartbeats you have in that space of time, every heartbeat is sending another, you know, running, you know, the blood through the liver. So as it goes through there and that coffee is up in there, that coffee gets mixed into the bloodstream. So it actually gives you like a rush, you know, and in a good way, in a better, you know, I know a lot of people don't like to drink coffee, you know, people who are like very into, you know, health and balancing health through diet. But if you use organic coffee for this flush, it actually does not cause any harmful, you know, residual effects to the body, and it actually gives that same rush without the harmful side effects that come through, drinking any old coffee with, sugar and milk and all that kind of stuff on it, going down the other way. It's just pure straight coffee, and again, make sure it is organic because you don't want any of the residue pesticides that are on the coffee as it's ground up to be flushing out your liver, which you're trying to heal and clean. So good to do that, and light coffee flush for, just for getting the whole thing back in tune. Lemon flush like I did today, that one helps to, it really does feel like a bottle brush, I gotta say. Only if you've done colonics before, go for the lemon flush. It's kind of only for warriors. It doesn't feel good, and if you haven't done it before, it might feel like, I don't know, it probably will just feel weird, or you might be put off from doing it again. Once you're used to the sensation of water passing through your intestines, it definitely, once you just get used to that, once you understand how your body reacts and responds, then it's more comfortable. You can deal with whatever is happening inside without feeling like, a little concerned or fearful or whatever. So, it's hot out here. God, it's like 92 degrees or something today. But I like sitting out here when I talk. And what else? Oh, right, that's what I wanted to talk about. So I wanted to talk about the physical aspects of gut health, and then also to talk about the emotional aspects and the spiritual aspects, because those are areas that are not covered often. A lot of times when we talk about gut health, everybody just goes straight for the physical. Once they're done talking about that, it's over. Spiritual or emotional, when you do a gut cleanse, when you start to clean out your gut, no matter what you use, whether you use a water flush or water mixed with something, whether you go on Amazon and buy some of those pills, that you take for 14 days or 7 days, whatever, any kind of gut cleanse that you do is going to open up once it moves that sticky layer of goo and moves it on down out of you. All of these chemical, like these enzymes, chemicals, all of the things that cause your emotional responses in your body, all of the emotional reaction responses, these pieces, these particles get trapped inside your gut with all of the food. We just think like, oh, food passes through there and that's done and out. No, all of the chemical receptors that go to your brain, that the things that help you feel happy, the stuff that helps you process difficult situations, all of those emotional things, those are all chemical processes that take place in your body. So when that's all clogged up, all of that stuff is sitting in there too. So your intestines are emitting, they're giving off the same amount of emotional stuff, chemical stuff, but it's just not able to reach your heart or your lungs or your brain and do anything. So it sits in there in the gut too. Now when you do a flush, I've noticed, I've had this reaction before, and especially in the beginning when I didn't know what was happening, I had a severe emotional meltdown the first time I had a colonic. I was just like bawling and didn't even know why, but it was like, and I've been a vegetarian for 33 years. I eat clean, I eat mostly organic, I'm not obsessive with it, but I eat relatively clean. So the idea that for a body like mine, that there still could be enough stuff stuck in there that wasn't making its way through, that I had that much unprocessed emotions actually sitting in a physical chemical state, sitting in there, just waiting. So as it starts to move out, now all this stuff moving through you is getting where it needs to go. And now all the emotional reactions and responses that got trapped there through other times while there was like stuff stuck in your gut, all start to happen. So you may notice when you gut cleanse, you may notice you have like crazy amounts of just emotions, of just like processing emotions, just being tearful for no reason, getting angry for no reason. All of that stuff is just everything cleaning out of you. So make sure that when you clean out your gut, you actually give yourself space. Give yourself, peace. All healing should have peace and space, and have something, just a way to just give yourself that time. Just honor yourself by giving yourself, a day alone, home, in bed. Prepare everything ahead of time. Get your little, favorite stuff next to you. Line up your little show playlist or whatever it is. Something nice and calming and relaxing. Don't watch a horror fest while your intestines are cleaning themselves out. It's not a good idea. But just get yourself together. If you have people around you who love you, who can take care of you, can help you out in any way, just get comfortable. Just rely on them. Ask them, to help you out as you need things, and give yourself some space to just heal, let things out, and get free with everything. And so that's like an awareness to be just like on the emotional side, or the emotional side, that a lot of people first time doing any kind of gut work at all don't really aren't prepared for. So just be properly prepared for that, and make sure that if you're talking about, if anybody ever asks you about gut health, make sure to mention that side to them, so that they understand, so that they're like ready and prepared. That's part of being prepared for it, like just like having your shows lined up and your raw juice on the side ready to go. Having that mental space ready is really important to make it a good experience, something that you would do again. So because you want to actually have these experiences, like you want to start to create this into a lifestyle, into cleansing yourself, giving yourself that time, that energy, honoring yourself with the cycles of earth, things like that. And then the last, part of the whole, gut health thing, or actually, no, this is specific to parasites, because it's very specific to parasite cleansing. And this is one thing that I really, really, really highly advocate people do a parasite cleanse regardless. The parasites in our gut cause energy loss, put really severe nutrition deficiencies. They cause alcohol cravings, cause cravings for carbs, a whole lot of stuff that people don't realize, that they think like, oh, I'm trying to quit sugar, I'm trying to cut back on sugar, and I can't, I have no willpower. It's not you. That's not even you who's going for those donuts or those, that cake. That's the parasites in your gut, who that's what they like to feed on. And so they will emit chemicals, and those chemicals go into your bloodstream. And then in your bloodstream, they go into the receptors in your body, and your body says like, I need a donut right now. It's not you who needs the donut. It's the billion parasites that are living in your gut, sending out signals to your heart, lungs, and brain. Hopefully you just have one set of brains. Telling them that this is what you're craving. So that's really important too. Alcoholism has been shown to be reversed by cleaning out the gut. And I'm not talking about one clean out, I'm talking about like over a period of time, and obviously in conjunction with other stuff. But even things like alcoholism, where people are trying to give up drinking, trying, there are parasites who feed off of that fermented carbohydrates that are in you. And they will send out chemicals and send you back for more. And you could try as hard as you want. You can't fight the actual chemical responses that are taking place in you on a cellular level, because that's how you're designed to live, by those responses. Your brain just has one consciousness telling you, what to do from here. All of that, you have 30 trillion cells, and when they're 30 trillion cells telling you to do this, and your one brain is telling you to do that, the cells are going to win. So you're going to be at the mercy of your cravings all the time if you don't clear out the beings that don't belong in you, these freeloaders, get them out of you. And then, so I was already, really, really about parasite detoxes and stuff like that. And then when I started doing research and discovering, and just on a deeply spiritual journey, and this is probably going to freak some people out or make me sound weird, that is all cool. I urge you to research it, check it out. Parasites have been considered since ancient times, and I'm talking about in ancient Kemet, lots of ancient cultures around Africa, around Asia, have considered parasites to be demonic entities. These things are demons, and they have the capacity to manifest into this world, just like we're a portal, just like our body is a vessel for our spirit, which exists out there somewhere to actually emanate and manifest into third dimensional reality. Parasites have these darkly demonic energies and entities that exist. Parasites are the vessel through which these things can exist and come forward into the world. So a lot of very dark toxic, sick behavior that we attribute to a person, to the whole person, because that's all we can see is just the whole person carrying out these behaviors. But just like these behaviors are affected by behaviors like alcoholism, donut cravings, whatever, are affected by parasites and wanting things from inside of us, in the same way, a lot of behaviors, and I'm talking about, really things like all from schizophrenia to just different sociopathic behaviors, a lot of those behaviors come from these demonic entities that have a foothold inside of the parasite's physical form, and they're replicating inside of you, emitting chemical reactors that send out messages to your brain to go do really horrible, or antisocial things and behaviors. So it is really vital, and it has been literally since ancient times one of the first tools that was used whenever somebody was, acting in a sociopathic way. One of the very first tools that was used, that was diagnosed for them, was to go and get their gut cleaned out, and to clean out anything, to remove to completely de-germ all germs, not just gut parasites, but all germs are vessels, are portals for these entities, these negative and dark entities, to exist here in this realm. So it is when they say that whole, cleanliness is next to godliness thing, that is an actual real thing. That is an actual understanding. That is ancient wisdom. That's not just like a quote or a saying or anything like that. That's real. And so when we find ourselves acting in ways that don't really align with our highest good, that don't really align with the people around us, when we can't seem to get along with other people, when we feel antisocial or start to get, sensations of being depressed and we don't understand why, or having like really dark, ugly, negative thoughts, and we feel guilty about, oh, why do I think that, and this is so crazy, what's wrong with me? A lot of that stuff has to do with parasites, and the main place for them to get a stronghold is in your gut, because our skin has bacteria that lives in it. Skin is thick, super hard to penetrate. All of our external body has stuff on it that makes it really hard to penetrate. But the one place where things can get a foothold and get into us is because we have to eat. So if you're eating food, at some point in your existence, you're going to get some parasites in you. And so it's a good idea just to make that a regular part of your habit and lifestyle, is to get those things flushed out of you. Tiredness, leaky gut, there's such a long list. I'm going to actually post a list in the comments of all of the issues that are caused by having parasites in the gut. And you will be really, really shocked at the amount of behaviors and at the amount of things that we think are disease that are actually caused by that. So definitely look into that. I'm going to post the link to the video too. I have a video, it's not mine, but it's a video that I found on YouTube about demons, about parasites being demonic entities. And I was so happy when I found it, because I felt like the only person out there who actually thinks this, And if you talk about demons and stuff, in this day and age, most people think you're crazy. But things exist that we can't see, and things exist at a level of being that we can see if we were to use a microscope, but we just don't pay attention. And we've been trained out of by the Western medical establishment, the atheistic Western medical establishment, been trained not to look at the non-physical aspect of these physical things. And so we need to start looking at the whole entire picture. There is the mind, body, spirit thing exists everywhere. It exists in nature, it exists inside our body, it exists in all creatures, all entities, everything have a mind, body, spirit complex. And so we need to, when we're studying about health and understanding about getting ourselves back into balance, we have to look at the whole entire mind, body, spirit complex. So that's really, really important. Oh, yes, thank you, brother. Yeah, I was nervous, I'm nervous to talk about, demons and parasites and things. People really, who don't know, will really, really think you're nuts. But I have done a lot of research about this over the years, and I'm really positive of what I'm talking about. So, but that's it. So that's it for the whole thing, just gut health. I wanted to throw that all out there. And I want to say, please do not take this because for some reason, every time I mention anything that I do in my work, I get somebody inboxes me. Oh God, I am like literally sweating. I'm sweating. Oh gosh. Anyway, but I'm cool. I'm cool. Sorry. I'm still going to sit out here in this 92-degree weather and embarrassingly sweat in front of you guys because I'd rather do this out here. But what was I going to say? Oh, right. So please do not inbox me telling me that I'm some kind of crazy capitalist and I'm just doing this stuff to try to get your money. I have products. I create products on my website. I have Parasite Detox. I have things to clean out the gut. I have information that I share there. Yes, the reason why I have those products on my website is because I care about people and their health. That's why I created those products. That's why I went into that line of work. That's why I sell Parasite Detox instead of, iPhone cases from China. Like, I can do anything to get money, but I don't do this for money. I do this because I care about people's health. So when I mention that I have a website, and you can go to my website and you can look at the different health products that I have, the different elixirs, gut cleanse elixirs and stuff like that, or Parasite Detox, please do not inbox me and tell me that I'm being a capitalist and all that kind of silliness. I don't do this for that. I do this because I genuinely care about people's health. And of course, if I have those things available, why, if I'm talking about an issue people ask me questions about that I have answers to, why would I not tell you about the products that I have that are a solution to the things that you're asking questions about? So, and it never fails. After every live video if I mention my business whatsoever, somebody inboxes me to call me a capitalist and tell me that it's ridiculous and I shouldn't be trying to get people's money and that I'm just did this live to rope people in to get their money and stuff like that. Please don't do it. I will block you immediately and never think of you again. I do this stuff because I care, and so I wanted to throw that out there. And friend, if anybody thinks I'm crazy and wants to inbox me and talk about parasites and demons, that you can do. We can have a good old conversation about parasites and demons. I have some stuff to share. But for now, let me shut it down. I am definitely hot and sweaty now, so I'm going to go back inside and back in the AC right over there and take it down for a bit. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys. Mwah. I can barely see what everybody's been writing, so sorry if I didn't answer anything that you said. I'm going to jump in there and look in the comments now, and I will see you guys on the other side. Peace.